Well, hello. Welcome to Jimmy's Records and Tapes. I'm Jimmy Pardo. This week I'm talking about my 5 favorite singer/songwriters.
We've got it on vinyl, CD and cassette.
We've got pop, rock, heavy metal, punk, funk, rap, and new wave. All sales are final, but you'll never regret all the music you get at Jimmy's Records and Tapes.
I'm loving music again. Hey everybody, welcome into the record store. Jimmy's Records and Tapes is the name of that record store. I'm the Jimmy. I own the place. The Records and Tapes, they're squatters, man. They got squatters' rights. This week I'm talking about my 5 favorite singer-songwriters. You know, people always get angry at the singer-songwriter whenever they quote-unquote sell out. They like to think of that when they discovered the guy at a coffee shop and now he's in an arena. Well, so what? Let him live his life. Let him put the stool up at the Forum here in Los Angeles and have a spotlight on him and have whatever that seats 25,000 people enjoy his songs. Why does he have to be 4 feet away from a guy slurping on a latte in order to enjoy him? People get mad at anybody when they try to say. It even happens in my business, comedy, acting, mostly comedy, not a lot of acting. Whenever a movie star does TV, they get mad at him, or a TV star ends up hosting a game show, people get mad at them. Or even when when TV stars, or whenever they do a commercial, they get mad at them. And you know what? There's money. People have to pay rent. People have to pay bills. Get off their back. I used to audition for a lot of commercials when I first moved to Los Angeles. The last 2 stand up in my mind because apparently I wasn't right for the role. The first one was for a KFC, a series of KFC commercials that Jason Alexander ended up doing, which good for him. He needs the money. That Seinfeld money's got to be spread thin by this point. So good for him to have another bank of money. They said, just be yourself. They're just looking for personality. Be yourself. And I was myself. And they went, thank you for your time. Which was like, okay, I guess what I have to offer is not to the chicken, not to the colonel's liking. And then my very last commercial audition was just do the copy and then give a little wave, and then that'll be it. So I did the copy, I did the wave, and the guy running the audition session said, that's not the kind of wave they're looking for. And I said, how's this one? And I waved like that, grabbed my stuff, and left. And went to my car and never came back. And I like to think that guy's still waiting there going, he's coming back. That was 20 years ago, so maybe there's a chance he's given up by now. Anyway, let's talk about my 5 favorite singer-songwriters. And let's, of course, I've been doing this lately, let's acknowledge Bob Dylan's the best. Let's just do that. Let's just acknowledge Bob Dylan's the best. And now we'll go with my remaining favorite 5, right? Dylan's great. Dan Fogelberg's great. There's others. I'm sure somebody's mad that I put those 2 people in the same sentence, but I don't care. Anyway, Bob Dylan's the top. Let's now go to the other 5. Number 5, Nancy Griffith. I love Nancy Griffith. As I mentioned in a previous Jimmy's Records and Tapes, I discovered her when she appeared on David Letterman doing You Made This Love a Teardrop off of her Storms album that was released in August of 1989. Now, it's on MCA Records. I quit my MCA Records day job, in July of 89, which means that I took the orders for that album from the record stores before I left. And the fact that I say I discovered her on David Letterman after this album was released tells you how bad I was at my job at MCA Records. So luckily for you, I wasn't good at that job, and now I'm able to make you laugh from time to time. Some places to start with her. There's Light Beyond These Woods. Mary Margaret is a great song off of her first album. Love at the Five and Dime is great. Cold Hearts, Closed Minds. It's a Hard Life Wherever You Go. Great songs by Nancy Griffith. I think she's just fantastic. Please enjoy her if you will as well. My number 4 is a guy named Simon Scardinelli. Simon was part of a band called Big Bamboo that had 2 albums out. One of them was on, I apologize. They had 1 album that was released. The second one eventually came out on Apple Music, but was never really on vinyl or CD or cassette. But their first album is just fantastic. The song Fell Off a Mountain is flawless as far as, I think the whole album's flawless. So please check that out. The links are in the description below to where to hear more of that. But as a solo artist, Simon just pulls at my heart, man. He knows how to write a song that Jimmy Pardo digs. When You're Lying, The Valentines, which is about a husband and a wife breaking up, which is just heartbreaking. Let There Be a Place is another great song. Simon Scardinelli is an artist for you to check out if you have not done so already, based on me running my mouth about him on my award-winning podcast, Never Not Funny. Number 3, this guy's on everybody's list, Cat Stevens, right? Use of Islam, as he goes by now. Look, for the 2 songs, Where Did the Children Play and Father and Son Alone, done, right? He's in the Singer-Songwriter Hall of Fame based on those 2 songs. But if you add in everything from Tea for the Tillerman, if you add in others, How Can I Tell You, The Wind, On the Road to Find Out, all songs that, boy, oh boy, they hit Jimmy Pardo right in the right spot. Number 3, Cat Stevens. Number 2, new addition to the line. I wouldn't have said this 7 years ago. And a little unfair because it's a band, and the band is Dawes. But the lead guy, and I don't know, I'm sure the other band members don't care for that, is Taylor Goldsmith, who is a singer-songwriter that has a great band around him, as far as I'm concerned. It's almost like he and I had a meeting, and he walked away from it going, okay, I'm going to write songs for Jimmy Pardo. That is what Taylor Goldsmith does for me. The band's name is Dawes. You could drop the needle on any song on any of their albums and see why. Their latest album, Good Luck with Whatever, has a song called St. Augustine at Night that just, boy oh boy. Sure, I cried at the concert. Get off my back about that. And get off my back about using the expression get off my back twice in one episode. 4 times now if you count the 2 that I just used. Also, the album Passwords is great. Crack the Case. Anyway, Taylor Goldsmith. The band is Dawes. Check them out. And my number 1 favorite singer-songwriter is Ellis Paul, who admittedly was a guy that I had never heard of. He's a singer-songwriter. I went to see Vance Gilbert, who I also love. And if I had an honorable mention section, I would have Vance in there for that. I went to see Vance Gilbert at the urging of my friend J. Keith Van Stratton. And my wife and I, in fact, we used one of Vance's songs for our wedding, a song called High Rise, for our first dance. But Vance kept on talking about his friend Ellis Paul, and my friend Ellis Paul, and my friend Ellis Paul. And one day I'm at a used record store and I see Ellis Paul live. And I went, you know what? This guy Vance won't shut up about him. I'm going to give it a try. So I put it in, and I'm not kidding. In the parking lot of that used record store in Glendale, California, I forget what song it was on what actual song it was on at the time. It might have been Look at the Wind Below or Take Me Down. I was just sobbing in my car. And from there, there is not a bigger champion for Ellis Paul than I am. I think he is just terrific. And if you're looking like, where do I start, Jimmy? Where do I start with Ellis Paul? The Day After Everything Changed is a great album. It came out in 2010. And you know what? This live album from 2000, it's called Ellis Paul Live, is a good place to start. It's his greatest hits basically up until that point. But his work since then, obviously, it's 21 years later, has been phenomenal as well. My number 1 favorite singer-songwriter is a guy that I'm actually able to call a friend, Ellis Paul. Hey guys, it's time for this week's Jimmy's Choice. As a reminder, you can tweet your choices to me. What 2 artists would you like to see me make a split decision about and then regret for the rest of my life? You can do that at Jimmy Pardo on Twitter. This week's comes to us from @CamoGirl328. And she wants to know, Richard Marx or Rick Springfield? Boy oh boy. Now, I did a little research on this one. Rick Springfield had 5 top 10 hits. Richard Marx had 9 top 10 hits. 3 of them went to number 1. In fact, his first 7 songs made it to the top 5. Now, do I go by the charts when I decide who I like better? No, of course I don't. You know that. I just said Ellis Paul was my favorite singer-songwriter. The guy's never been on the top 100. That doesn't mean you can't like the guy. But boy, oh boy, Springfield's got great songs. Richard Marx has great songs. At the end of the day, and I know that people will think I'm nuts for this because they I don't know, for whatever reason, they think this guy doesn't rock, and he does. I'm going with Richard Marx. I love Rick Springfield. I think he's terrific. Am I mad that he never got Jesse's Girl? Of course I am. Am I mad that I said that thing out loud? More angry than you would ever believe in your entire life. I've never been more disappointed at a quote-unquote joke in my entire career than I am that Jesse's Girl's reference I just wedged into this nightmare of a sentence. And because of that, I'm going to blame Rick Springfield, and I'm going to go with Richard Marx. Marx over Springfield. This week's Jimmy's Choice. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. If you liked it, press the like button. Spread the word. Let people know we're out here. There's also the Spotify playlist that Rob has put together, so check that out, Jimmy's Records and Tapes. Also, I host the award-winning podcast, Never Not Funny, and as always, you can follow me on Twitter at Jimmy Pardo. We'll see you next time right here in the Record Store. Until then, the record's back in its sleeve.